the War Report coming live every Tuesday at 7 with Steve, Cat, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric. And the voice of NEW, Vince Berry. Hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT? Handing out SmackDowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by Tag Me a Date. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here. No safe space, now listen in. Time to hear from some of the greats.
And welcome, everybody. I know you're used to hearing Steve say welcome to the War Report After Dark. It's 9 p.m. live on a Tuesday. I want to talk wrestling, but also, just like you, Al, it's the ninth inning of the wild card between the Red Sox and the Yankees.
I'm so upset right now.
I just saw that like 3 minutes ago there was a garbage single to left field, and the Red Sox scored another run, and I'm very bothered by it.
Look, I can't even call it garbage because even though I hate Boston and Alex Bregman, it was a great swing. It was a pitch outside of the zone, and
that's what I mean. It was a pitch that you weren't even supposed to be hit.
Yes,
or
correct.
Hit all credit to him, but fuck him.
Right, pretty much. And while you're in the midst of telling people to go fuck themselves, fuck over.
Yes. Oh, we missed that right at the beginning of the show because you hopped on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I logged in a little late. End of the month. I was running late home.
And listen, it's the ninth. I almost said, guys, we got to stall the show 15 minutes because it's the ninth inning here, and we got to see what happens.
I mean, look, we could talk wrestling and still talk about what happens.
The catcher just took a foul ball to the nuts.
Just saw that. You're a little behind me, so please don't scream till I scream.
I'm behind.
When I scream,
I'm behind.
I scream.
So you saw that first, and then I said it.
No, you saw that first, and then I'm like, where?
So I'll shut the fuck up.
I'm literally like a second behind.
I'm sorry. I will not say anything further. So
all good, brother. All good. All good.
And yes, I have it muted on a second screen, and I'm watching the game. Sorry, it's not terribly professional, but it's playoff baseball. It is what it is.
That makes two of us. Sorry, Steve, and fuck over again.
Listen, I think Steve, wherever he is probably tuned into 660 or 880 or whatever he's listening to.
Okay, Goldsmith. I like that.
Yep.
I like that. With Judge coming in. Let's fucking go.
We can only hope. Guys, I'm sorry this might turn into the Alan Vince Sports Talk Radio for 10 or 15 minutes before we get to wrestling. I don't know. But
but it did. It just did.
Dude, we've known all year that our middle relief has been a problem.
Right. And by the way, we spent a lot of money on our middle relief this year.
We did.
Okay, I take that.
There we go. I was waiting for you to see it. Okay. We got a single from Judge, the captain. We got 2 on, no outs in the bottom of the ninth.
You got to put Ben Rice in somewhere. This kid has to hit in this inning.
Why didn't he? I mean, we had an opportunity. There was a 1-to-1 swap pinch hitting lesson.
They kept Chapman in. And Goldsmith is very good against righties. So I think that's the reason. And Ben Rice is not that great against lefties, as good as he is. However, Bellinger coming up in this spot, I truly like this. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He rocked it. He rocked it. It dropped. It dropped.
Yeah. We
got one? Oh, no.
Bases loaded.
All right, I can't talk about wrestling right now.
No, we're not. Guys, if you are here for wrestling talk, you can wait 10 minutes. This is very important, and it's only important to people who are Yankees fans, and I apologize if it's not. And if you're a Red Sox fan, it's important to you too. So there's a certain subset of listeners. I know where most of our listeners are. You're probably
by the way, I'm gonna be there tomorrow. I'm gonna be there tomorrow night.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, I couldn't miss it. I figured hopefully we win this one and I could be there for the winning, but
Yeah, dude. I'm 1-0. I never felt safe with the 1-0, but I was feeling okay after the starting pitching performance. A nice tight 6 innings, no runs. I'm like, okay, how badly can middle relief fuck this up? And
I
here we
have a
go.
question. You were probably watching the game better than I was because I had it at work finishing a
Yep.
month. So you figure how much of the game I saw.
Right.
How many pitches did Friedman have when they took him out?
Over 100.
Oh, okay. So he was over the threshold.
Yeah, he was like 105 or something. And then fucking Crochet threw like 115 pitches.
Bro,
over,
like
over
almost
8 innings.
Like, yeah, right? Like, what the hell was that about? Oh my God, Giancarlo Stanton in the playoff. This is a dream come true. Take it home, kid.
This is interesting because it's Giancarlo against Chapman.
Yeah, power versus power.
And that 100-mile-an-hour ball that just bounced off his bat for a foul ball was crazy.
I'm so nervous right now. I'll take a fly ball to deep center, please. Oh, no.
Yeah, the thing that sucks is that Chapman, for whatever reason, had the yips when he was a Yankee. Like, we had a lot of opportunities to close out ALCSs and World Series and everything. We put the ball in his hands, and he'd give up a home run and then smirk afterward, and you were fucking sick to your stomach. So, like, the fact that he's good now with like the Cubs and then the Reds, it's like, what's the like? Why? Yeah,
it really
couldn't
does suck for us.
Yeah,
it really does suck. Oh my God, this sucks right now.
But there are guys like that. I mean, what's his name? Was it Gray? He was a pitcher for us, and he stunk, and then he moved on and was actually okay other places. Like, it feels like some guys just can't play in New York.
Look, well, New York isn't made for everybody. And the thing I would say is this. I mean, it's going to sound dumb because there's very few in the last few years, but it seems like if you're not a closer built and homegrown in New York, you're not good in New York. Fuck.
Yeah, coming in. Yeah, and Stanton just struck out. Sorry, Tara. So to catch you up real quick, we're watching the game 1 of the American League East wild card between the Yankees and the Red Sox, and the Red Sox are up 3-1 in the bottom of the 9th inning. The bases are loaded. There was no outs. Now there's 1 out. Giancarlo Stanton just struck out. Jazz Chisholm at the plate with a chance to at least tie the game.
He can hit it out, and all we need is a double.
You're right. We need a ball in play. I mean, there's 2 outs, so in the air for a sack only gets you 1, or there's only 1. So a sack gets you 1 run, but we don't want that. Ground into a double play, you don't want that. Double would be fantastic. That would at least tie the game. And grand slam.
Who's that second? I think it's Judge. I think a single might tie the fucking game at this point, if it's not fucking blasted out there, because I think Judge is going.
Oh yeah, you're at this point. You're cracking the bat.
Oh, that was outside.
Jazz doesn't like it.
Come on, man.
Talking to the umpire about it. That PitchCom or whatever the 3D strike zone thing says it just brushed it. Oh man, my stream cut out. Oh no.
That was nice.
Oh my gosh. I have to stop it and start it again.
Come on, Chisholm. Come on, Chisholm. Put it in play, bro. You're not gonna get doubled. Put it in play.
Oh, I'm flying blind right now until it comes back. You're gonna. Oh, here it comes. It's back. Yes, thank you, Tara. Let's go Yankees. Yeah, I'm stressed out too. Listen, we're all stressed out here. This is not a team that I even thought would make the playoffs in the Yankees. So now that they're here, you want them to put on the best performance possible. And I mean, God, no knock on this Red Sox team. Crochet went out there and pitched almost a fucking complete game.
Crochet was worth all 3 of the fucking farm guys they give him, because he is an animal. He's been pitching lights out all year long. He is very, very good, as much as it pains me to say it.
115 pitches tonight was crazy.
That might not even score 1. Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what you didn't want.
It's smart, because at the end of the day, that run doesn't win the game. So what's
right?
the point?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. You don't send them. I mean, it's
people
just
that are booing right now are just drunk and upset.
They're frustrated that the ball wasn't deep enough. At least I would be booing out of frustration that the ball wasn't hit deep enough to score the run, or that like it didn't fall in a gap and get a run in that way.
Dude, we just had bases loaded, and we might
Bases
leave the
loaded,
game.
no
We might
outs.
leave the game as it is. I'll tell you what, though.
And we
Before,
got
I was
Trent
upset
Grisham.
that Grisham was batting 7th and not 1st, but right now I'm not mad because this is great.
I mean, he's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, but that was, well, I think 2 of them were against Crochet and
What-
1 might have been against
I
Chapman.
think one
last
of them
night.
was against yeah. I mean, what was the old saying? He's due.
Yo, it would be nice to believe in due.
Oh my God.
The Yankees
Due.
believe in analytics, unfortunately. There's a lot of personal touch that they've kind of lost in the way that they manage the game. And like Boone doesn't have nearly as much control as Girardi or as Torrey did to manage the bullpen and manage the lineup. It's very dependent on the analytics.
I'm going to tell you the truth. The fact that they didn't start Rice over Wells to put him in the game surprised the shit out of me. And the fact they didn't get this guy in that bat.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He's sitting on the bench, and then Jazz didn't play, right? He didn't start the game.
Jazz didn't, but Jazz is, you could say,
Right.
damn near horrible against lefties, right?
Right.
And you upgrade the defense with this other kid because he's very good too. But Wells, not one at bat, is like, what are we doing?
Yeah, you got to put him in the game. At least give him a shot, because
Oh my God!
especially when this guy, I don't know. There's places you could have pinch hit for him earlier in, the 8th inning is another thing we're going to look at as maybe a missed opportunity.
Even if you let him hit for our second baseman Caballero, and then you still throw Chisholm in at second, you could have done that.
Right? Yeah, you could have done one of those swaps.
Yeah, like I don't.
So I was
I
fucking
don't know,
2 and 2.
Whatever happens in the series, I'm still not a fan of Boone. Fuck.
All right, so let's talk about wrestling. You want to start with SmackDown or Raw?
Ah, man.
I don't want to talk about that baseball game anymore.
No. I want something to cheer me up. I got to turn this shit off as soon as possible. So, what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about firing Aaron Boone, but
yeah.
Let's talk about wrestling.
More baseball.
Jesus Christ. So we can talk about SmackDown on Friday, and then we can talk about
right.
Raw.
Go in order.
Go in order. All right, cool. So Paul Heyman opens up SmackDown. Cody comes out. We've got this match now set up against these two guys, right? Like to be the Grand Poobah champion, like Saudi Prince champion or something.
Correct.
Great.
Was the official title that is it the Crown Royal Champion or what is it?
I'm trying to find it.
There's a term to it, right?
Yeah, there is. There's a phrase. It's like the Royal Crown Champion or the Crown Jewel Heavyweight Champion or something.
Could be that.
But and Randy Orton makes the save. Blah blah blah. So we've got Randy and Cody back on the same side, at least for the moment. You never know with Randy Orton where he's going.
And he's due. And he's due to be a heel.
He's always due for a surprise. Like I could see them tagging together and maybe even winning a match at a pay-per-view or PLE, and then he turns on him immediately afterward or something like that. It's just such a Randy Orton thing to do.
Right. And it makes sense too.
Oh yeah, it would make perfect sense. And also, Cody really doesn't have, especially with Roman and the rest of the Bloodline guys over on Raw now, he doesn't really have SmackDown allies per se. So Randy's a good.
The one thing I would say about that is that I wouldn't want him to turn him before War Games, because I would like to see Randy and Cody, possibly Cena, like Roman Reigns, either Jey Uso or LA Knight, depending. You really don't know where Jey Uso's gonna land right now, whether he's a face or a heel. He's still flirting with that, so that'll be kind of cool to do.
Yeah, I agree. I think, especially in a War Games, it's always kind of interesting when one of the teams has a partner that you're not 100% sure about.
Right.
And it's like, is he going to show up? And when he shows up, whose side is he going to be on? Is he going to be on that side the whole match? Like there's always something funky. Like Lex Luger always comes to mind. The time when the NWO convinced the WCW that Sting was evil and that he wasn't coming to the War Games and he was on their side and they had the fake Sting. And then the real Sting came out and was like, I'm real. I'm here. It's me. And you didn't believe me. And then he fucking leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And Lex is like, Sting, wait, no.
I believe you now.
I love that. That was one of my favorite like War Games moments, is just like Lex screaming at Sting and Sting's just like, whatever, and just turns up the ramp and leaves. And that was right before he did the whole, that was part of the turn from Surfer Sting to Crow Sting. He was making the transition already,
Right.
but that fully put him over the top of like, he wasn't for WCW anymore, but at the same time he was against the NWO. So he was just this neutral.
He was an independent.
Right. And that was such a cool, there was nothing like that in wrestling at the time. It was such a cool time to
It was
have
like
a
he was
character.
it was kind of like he was invading the invasion.
Yes.
Like, literally. He was invading the invasion that was currently happening on his employer.
And he was even, he's like, it was almost like a lesser of two evils thing. He's like, WCW turned their back on me, but like, I can't fully turn my back on them, but like, we're still not friends right now. And eventually they make up and all that. But
And I just loved the aura they gave him, because it was literally the baddest guys in town, just whooping ass, interrupting interviews, taking over broadcasts, and all you needed was a guy in a white face paint and a bat to come down, zip line down the thing, and everybody's like, whoa, 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 whoa. We don't
Yeah.
want none of this guy.
They really built Sting up to be important and a superhero, and like he could go against like 6 guys in the ring and it's just him and a baseball bat and he's still
Right.
able to fight them all off. Like it was it was all great until Starrcade 97.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And
that was really it.
all she wrote.
It's amazing to think, as good as the Goldberg run was, and all, there's some other great moments in WCW history post Starrcade 1997, but fucking up that finish was like one of those butterfly effect things that just ended up with the company going out of business 3 years later.
It just leaves us with a bad taste in our mouth, right? It's
And even as like as a young man, I was NWO all the way. I had the NWO black and white T-shirt from the time I was like 10, 11 years old. Like
nobody was non-NWO, bro. You could have had another wrestler you like us, right? We like Sting,
right?
But everybody liked NWO,
right? But even as an NWO fan, you watch the match and you go, because I watched that pay-per-view live, and I'm like, oh, that even as a kid, you're like, something didn't feel right about the way that match ended.
Something ain't right about this program.
And then, years later, you become an old man and they produce documentaries about it. You're like, oh shit.
Right. That's what's so cool about those old school documentaries, because we obviously don't think about wrestling back then the way we do now. And finding out as an adult, like, what happened is pretty fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah. And I even like, dude, my obsession with this stuff goes back to like Beyond the Mat and Wrestling with Shadows.
Yes, that was pretty cool. I like.
And I remember seeing Wrestling with Shadows on like either like Showtime or something, whatever extended cable channel package we had, and I sat down and watched the whole thing. And I remember the scene of Bret Hart playing the SNES arcade game, the WWF arcade game. That was more like Mortal Kombat than it was actual wrestling.
Right, it literally was. I'm pretty sure Mortal Kombat came from that.
Yeah, and the Undertaker was hitting him with a tombstone, actual tombstones and stuff. Like, it was a ridiculous game. And then they have the recorded conversation of like, it's gonna be a schmoz, pal. And he's like, all right, Vince McMahon, whatever you say, hey, I'm Canadian, or whatever he said. And then like after like you got access that we then didn't get again until very recently, the last 5-10 years. You didn't get backstage access like that. It just happened to be that there was a documentary crew filming Bret's last run there in the WWF.
Correct.
And
well, he had his own live little documentary that they were filming around that time, and then it came out. It came out a few years later after that, or maybe like the next year. Like there's a real old one that's where they got most of the footage from.
Oh my God.
Because it was like his last run. He already had time with WCW. And
Right,
like
right.
they had the issue with him dropping the belt to Sean and blah blah blah. He didn't want to, or whatever the
Mm.
case may be, or Sean didn't want to drop it to him, and that's why he like
They didn't like each
dropped
other at all. Yeah, that
at
was
all.
yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you, like, so I love documentaries of wrestling, but nothing more for me, at least, is from like 90 to call it, 2000 or 99, whenever, the everything kind of changed per se when they merged.
Yeah.
But it's awesome to see how two guys could truly not like each other, but go into the ring and just create magic. Because
Yeah.
there's very few wrestlers that I like seeing wrestle each other. You have Macho Man and Steamboat. Rightfully, you got Stone Cold and Bret Hart, and I could go on because most of the combinations are going to be Bret Hart and somebody else.
Right.
But
Yeah, yeah.
Shawn and Bret Hart are like, oh my god,
But
like
that's
they
the
were different.
interesting part about like the professional part of professional wrestling. Like that's really true professionalism when you can go in and do something so cooperative with
Right.
somebody that you hate. Like Bret Hart took a chunk of, and this happened at the Hartford Civic Center, and Jerry Lawler was in the urinal taking a shit, or in the stall taking a shit, while Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels got in a fight in the bathroom at the Hartford Civic Center. And he ripped the chunk out of Bret. Bret ripped the chunk of Shawn's hair, and then he walked over to McMahon with it in his hand.
Yeah, I heard that
And
story.
it's like, mother. And then they go out and they wrestle 5-star classics.
And then the thing is, it's like if you do that to me, you hit me, I'm not fucking selling for you. Shawn used to sell beautifully for Bret Hart, beautifully.
Yeah, it's a make, and because when he did it with Hogan and he did it over the top at that SummerSlam, you
Right.
knew that he could have done that to Bret and made him look like a real asshole, but he
Correct.
didn't. It's amazing. There was still a part of Shawn who was protecting the business and realizing that after Bret leaves, he's still going to be a top guy, and he had to still kind of look good.
And that
Despite
was
all this.
always his holding on to moment, right? He knew that eventually he was the Vince guy and it was going to be his turn.
Right. Yeah,
He knew that was going to happen.
He was a Vince guy from the very beginning. He just wasn't there yet when he was with the Rockers, and even when he was still with Sherry, he just wasn't there yet. And eventually, he hit that point.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, Vince put the IC title on him pretty darn quick. After the feud with Bret Hart that he couldn't get over Bret Hart, and Bret Hart dropped to the British Bulldog. I mean, that title went on Shawn Michaels right away, and it stayed on him for a while.
Yeah, he was the guy for that title.
He was the workhorse. He was the guy.
When you think of that specific Intercontinental Championship design, you think of Shawn Michaels, and you think of Razor, because he had a match with Shawn Michaels.
Like, so for me, Razor is the Intercontinental Champion when I think about those times, because every other guy that was great eventually moved on. Like for me, him and Mr. Perfect and Owens, because he died too early, are the three guys that I'm like, yeah, they're going to be main eventers eventually, but it never panned out.
Yeah, and it looks like my camera froze, so I'm going to try and fix that but anyway.
I was thinking, like, why are you smirking at me like that?
I don't know. I saw it freeze on the exact, at least this is better than the other one, but it's still not great. I'll just clean up some comments first, and then I'll go try and turn my camera off and then back on. Hey, David, how you doing? He likes Goldberg. He thinks the WCW greatest WCW champion of all time. I mean, depending on how far you go back with it, because do we count Harley Race as an NWA champion? Are we just going from like the 90s, like from the Hogan era, like 94 on?
I mean, how was timeout? I have a question though. How was Sting not your best WCW champion of all time?
When you I think it's also a generational thing, because I think kids who grew up to be like teenagers and young adults when Sting was Surfer Sting and then turn into Crow Sting were always going to be Sting guys. And then kids who grew up when Goldberg started his undefeated streak, they tended to gravitate towards Goldberg. So like you had a little bit of both of those two generations coming in to WCW in that time.
I mean, look, I'll tell you this much: if David Roscoe would have said that Goldberg is the biggest WCW star of all time, I could agree with that.
That's probably, yeah. But
I can't use the word wrestler and Goldberg in the same sentence.
I see what you're saying, like wrestling quality wise. Yeah.
Like Sting was a very good 5-2 wrestler in the ring.
Yeah. And he was, despite everything that happened during, his decades in the wrestling business, where it was not uncommon for guys to jump back and forth between promotions. He was WCW through and through from the day he signed his contract to the day the doors literally closed on the promotion. And
he was the Undertaker of WCW.
Yes, and it's still a shame we never got that match.
Mm-hmm.
We got Triple H instead.
That was that. So we got the Temu version of the match we wanted.
And then we had
no
run-ins.
Disrespect to Triple H, but it was, the aura wasn't that. Although I like the fact with the whole twist with the NWO coming out and DX coming out at the end, you wouldn't gotten that with Undertaker and him. But again, I don't think you needed that with Undertaker and him.
No, you wouldn't. It would have been pretty much a straight up one-on-one match. And maybe by that point, both of those guys, like Undertaker went and wrestled Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt, being a younger guy, could kind of carry the brunt of that match for him. And then Triple H, while not the youngest, was younger than Sting at the time, and could carry a match. He's a good hand and all that. So I think that was probably part of the decision, was like put him with somebody that can go, and don't have like the Goldberg Undertaker Saudi match.
But you know what I would have taken? I would have taken Shawn Michaels on Undertaker's side and Triple H on Sting's side, or vice versa, and make it a tag team match and give them a break, but at least you see it. Like, I just wanted to see those guys. Think about it. Like, they don't tag in for a while, or if they're tagging in against the opposite, whatchamacallit, and then at a certain point, someone gets a hot tag, and they walk in slowly into the ring and meet at the center of the ring. And at that point, you get that Hulk Hogan Rock reaction when they started their match at WrestleMania 17. Like, that shit is made for fucking Hollywood, bro. Like, for a wrestling fan, that's like a dream come true for us kids that grew up watching that.
Oh yeah, and then the worst part to me about that was there was a point where it was rumored that both Sting and Abyss were leaving TNA at one point or another, and they were both offered an Undertaker match. And that's why the Undertaker promos that seemed to allude to an Abyss or Sting match at one point turned into Undertaker versus Triple H one more time. And then, I don't know what the fuck happened with this next WrestleMania, why they decided it was Triple H Sting. It probably had a lot to do with like the video game coming out and all this other shit, and like brand integration, and like, oh, it's a good idea for this, CEO to put Scott. I don't fucking know, but he didn't even put him over. That's the other shitty thing. All right, can we talk about? I mean, Triple H is a good wrestler. He's a Hall of Fame wrestler. He's a world champion. All those things. Running the WWE, it's a hard job. I give him a lot of credit for the work that he's done over the years. There are a few times in his career where, whether it was his choice, his influence, or somebody else's decision, that he went over at a point where he shouldn't have fucking went over, and it still makes a lot of us feel some kind of way about it 20 years later. Like against Booker T at WrestleMania 19, Safeco Field. Why did he win that match? He spent 2 months saying like incredibly racist stuff to Booker T. And then won the match. And then loses, and then beats Sting just fucking clean after all that schmaz. You'd figure in a schmaz that gets you away with it. All this stuff happens outside the ring. Triple H is distracted. Scorpion Death Drop, 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. Everybody goes home happy.
Especially the way it happened. Like, it was DX that came out first, and then NWO came out there to kick their ass. So you think like, all right, now the Sting has the advantage because this team came out second. They're attacking.
Yes.
How the fuck does he go over?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, how does the defending, the troops coming in to make the save ends up with the troops not making the save?
Right. There was no saving of the troops.
Yeah, exactly. We should probably get back to some talk about current wrestling, but that was fun.
Oh yeah, that was half an hour worth of us living our childhood back. Yeah. And by the way, since we are half an hour in, almost there, I would like to say, fuck Goldberg.
There it is. All right, now hold on a second. I'm going to turn my camera off and back on. 1 second. All right, I'm back. Did I miss anything? Hey, I'm not frozen in a
Hey, how you doing?
stupid. I'm not making a stupid face anymore. Okay. I think the headlines, I mean, it looks like we had the Street Profits against Mellow Don't Miz, which is a terrible name. Okay. Yeah. Profits defeated Mellow Don't Miz. Does that mean they're number one contenders for the tag titles or something? I have no fucking clue. Al, can you hear me?
Say that again. No, you were breaking up. What was that?
Oh, all right, my bad. The tag team title thing or the tag match, the Street Profits. Does that make them the new number one contenders, or was this just like a random tag match?
I mean, that's why I've been an advocate of taking sometimes like for me the division is stalling, and whatever
Yeah.
they try to do with all these teams, even with the great match they had at SummerSlam, I'm sorry, they're not doing anything with them.
Right.
So I wouldn't mind them putting them back on the Street Profit, because at first I thought they were gonna split them up, but now it
Yeah.
seems like they're stronger than ever and they look great. So I'm not a fan of them being on the Wyatt Six at this point. They have done absolutely nothing with them. That you haven't hear them cut a promo in the ring in months. You barely see them wrestle. All they do
Yep.
is like these appearances with their matches with their titles on, like waiting for the next team to come on. So I'm ready to move on from this. Like we need to move on. Like for instance, you have a lot of teams that you can either move around or put, like I can't wait for them to put belts on Braun and Brunson, right?
Yep.
If you're gonna put the Usos back together, why don't they get a belt? And granted, these are Raw people, but you can do a shuffle, and it really don't matter. They appear in any fucking show they want. So something has to happen with those belts. So it has to go back on them. And then if you want to make the storyline that they split because one of them cost each other the belt, or they start feuding, and that's the last break, and then you could start with them and give it to somebody else. Do whatever it does. Like, but just like keep them relevant, man. Keep them relevant. Like you shouldn't think about belts that are like Raw's tag team champions and WWE SmackDown tag team champions. They're their own belts. We've accepted them as equals, right? It's not like we talk about the Universal Champion and the Heavyweight Champion. You know, we feel like there's a hierarchy in those, right? So
Yes.
make them relevant, man. Make them work. Do something with these goddamn belts.
Yeah.
Like I'm tired of when you have so much talent and you don't pay. You should be balanced. There should be a balance in all divisions with all titles. And the tag and the WWE has always struggled with WWE tag team matches.
Yeah.
AEW doesn't have that problem with less stars. Like it's fucking crazy to think about it.
And maybe that's the thing. Maybe having a little bit smaller of a roster is preferable. So you can kind of just deal with a smaller pool of people.
But when you do that, you help yourself out. Like there's like for instance, right? Like just for shits and giggles.
Mhm.
LA Knight is never going to become a champion. We can
Right.
acknowledge that. The guy's 50. He keeps saying he's going to become a champ. He's not going to become a champ. Let's call
I
a
get it.
spade, bro. Like at best, you're going to be the Razor Ramon. You're going to be that face that you're the last guy before the big boss. Like we just got to get past you, and then we're in the main event. And that's
Correct.
usually what it's going to be. And when he gets there, he fails at it for some whatever reason it is. So I would fucking take him and put him in a tag team with somebody. I don't fucking know. Make Jay a fucking heel. Make him beef with his brother. After he's done with that beef, then Jay and Jimmy and fucking LA Knight could become a tag team and let them rock for a little bit. Who knows? I don't care. Lie to me. Do something. Like something that's gonna be like, oh, you know what? There's a tag team match. I want to tune in and watch this.
Right. No, I agree, man. I think there's a lot of potential, especially with, you know, listen, Penta's having a great singles run. I can't say the same for my guy Phoenix.
No.
Put them fucking together. The Lucha Brothers in the WWE tag team title scene would instantly revitalize the scene. It would give it a shot in the arm. It would be a brand new team that the WWE audience hasn't seen. And if they have watched AEW, they already know how fucking good they are.
Right.
And if they haven't seen them before, it's going to be a surprise. And then you have them tag against some AAA guys at a Lucha show and really get them to show off their skills. And like, I feel like I understand there's a lot of money invested in these guys as single stars, but I think it doesn't have to be that if they're the Lucha Brothers, they can't wrestle singles matches. You have these two guys aren't just tag team specialists. It's not like, I can't think of a tag team right now where you wouldn't want to watch both. The Acclaimed, you're like, singles guys, they're fine by themselves. They're much better together. The Lucha Brothers can hold their own in singles matches, and they're great as a tag team. So if you just have them as a faction or a loose association, and when they need to tag together, they are, and they're tag team champions, and then when they lose them, one of them goes on to the IC title, one of them goes on to the US title, whatever. You have them do different stuff.
So, like, for instance, right, you said Penta is hot. I would disagree a little bit and say Penta was hot.
Okay, yes.
I think he's cooling off a little bit. No, he's not that guy he was 3 months ago. And the issue, unfortunately, with the average crowd, and rightfully so, because it is an American-based English programming, we go back to cutting the promo.
Mm-hmm.
And which is the same reason I'm scared with my girl, Stephanie Vaquer, because her promo aren't the best, but she speaks slowly and says very few words, so it helps her out. When it comes to these guys, they speak a little faster. You can't understand them as well. And when you can't really cut a promo as a singles wrestler, it's hard to stay on top or hold on to something, because eventually you're going to have to cut a promo to get over that with us, right? You're a great wrestler. We love how you wrestle. Now we want to see how you talk. Can you handle the heat against the best of the best out there, right? And that's how we judge you. And when it doesn't flow and it doesn't seem organic, when you're not organic, when you're speaking a second language and you're not speaking it correctly, coming from somebody that had to learn a second language, you feel much confident when you could just flow with it. Hence, you become a better actor. Hence, you could sell your promo better. Yeah. And we see that as wrestling fans. So I think that's the issue. That's why I think they actually would do great as a tag team, because tag teams barely cut promos. It's very rarely. They cut them in the back. And at the end of the day, they cut them amongst two of them, so they have to say less. So they'll be cutting one promo amongst both of them, which I think will be easier on the ear. And their athletic ability together at their fast pace, how they move in a ring, like you said, is like second to none.
It speaks for itself.
Maybe the Young Bucks, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how great it is.
Right, exactly.
But it speaks for itself, like you said. So that's my thought on it.
Excellent. And I do agree. I just got a text, a quick shout out to Joey who's listening. Joey's been sick this week, and I know he was out sick from school a couple days, and I think he just went back today. But get well soon, Joey. I know you're listening, and I apologize for all the salty language to his mother while he's listening. But I do agree. But I think the interesting thing is to look at, and they're two completely different companies, and you hate to compare the runs of the Lucha Brothers in AEW versus WWE, but this is all we have to compare it to.
Right.
They had a manager, and the way that they worked around this issue was they let the guys cut the promo in Spanish, and then they had the guy translate it. So you still heard Penta speak, and you could understand where he was putting emphasis, and if he was sad, or if he was mad, or if he was yelling, or if he was quiet, whatever. He cut the promo, and if you understand Spanish, you got it. And if you didn't, they had a guy there to translate it for you. And at first, the way as most things go, when it gets popular, it turns babyface. So the whole group turned babyface. But when it first started, it was a very obnoxious. Penta would speak and he'd go, well, Penta says, blah, blah, blah. Well, Penta says this. And it was like a really annoying thing. But then eventually, as the act got over, it became, the crowd was going along with it. Penta says, and it became a pop for that. But
right. I do remember that. Yeah, and when he did it in Spanish, it was fucking awesome. Like he was great at AEW cutting promos because he was organic. You know,
Yeah.
he was shooting from the hip. He was being himself.
And they let certain people do it, like Asuka, and they just let Asuka go crazy in Japanese. And you
Which
don't
is awesome.
right, and you don't need subtitles. You don't need a translator. You get it because
I do like the subtitles though. Like
yeah,
when
no,
she's speaking, and like when she's cutting a promo, and they put the subtitles on, or like obviously when she's on the ring, no, but when
yeah,
she's like
yeah.
in backstage, it's fucking
Right.
awesome. I love it.
And again, you get the whole performance, and then you get subtitles below it, so you can you can translate everything. But a lot
Right.
of it is in the promo is not just the words; it's the delivery. So
Correct.
sometimes like you said, if you're trying on the fly to like if you English is your second language, you are already translating your brain from your native language into English. You're thinking on the fly. You're trying to find replacement words. You're trying to find words that flow and make the right sentence. And like the grammar is correct. And am I using the past tense or the present tense? And you don't want to be me like a wrestle real good, Like you can't just go out and say some shit like that. You have to like think of a sentence in your head. I don't speak a second language that fluently, so I don't have a frame of reference for it, and I think it's got to be pretty difficult to like be put on the spot like that, live, millions of people, Netflix, whatever it is. Here's a microphone. Go out there and speak in a language you learned 15 years ago. Bye.
Go. Bye. Good luck.
It's tough.
Cannot be easy.
Now, were you Spanish speaking first at home and then you learned English during school, or what was your experience?
Correct. English was my second language. I even went to ESL classes.
Oh wow. Was that helpful?
Um, yeah, for sure. It actually taught me the language.
That's great.
Yeah,
I never,
ESL taught me not only how to speak it and pronunciate it correctly, but spell it, read it, like everything. You know, like
that's great because
I was in it for a little bit.
I never, as somebody who didn't have to take that class, I only ever heard of the ESL class. I never
Yeah,
participated. So that's good to know it works.
I when we lived in New York, um, even like I knew enough English to go into New York as far as like because we have a lot of a Spanish population, so I knew enough to like be able to take English class. But
Yeah.
we were so overpopulated that at a certain point, if you spoke Spanish, they just put you in a Spanish class because of the overpopulation of kids.
Oh wow.
So I'll still get English class and Spanish class. I still do all that plus math and everything else, but it was that through elementary school. Like I didn't
Wow.
start going to class full English till I was in seventh grade. In
Oh
sixth
wow.
grade, I had to pass an ESL class to go into um, English only.
That's great. And again, no knock on anybody that speaks with an accent, but like you don't come off as somebody who spent that long in ESL classes in that you don't have like the big poppy accent, as I like to call it.
And
You
you
know,
know
like
what I'm saying, yo, right? Because when I came over, no, man.
yeah,
No,
that's
I
that
mean,
kind of thing.
I don't know. I guess you know what? I used to love reading. Like, oh, I mean, I still love reading, but I guess reading a lot.
Mhm.
And the one thing was that even though I spoke primarily Spanish, most of my TV was all English. So
Oh,
growing up, like I didn't watch like nothing Spanish. My thing was like Yankees, wrestling, Mighty
mm.
Morphin Power
Oh,
Rangers.
there you go. Yeah, you'll learn English from that. Holy shit. You'll
Fresh
learn
Prince of
all the
Bel Air,
slang. You
Family
learn all the
Matters.
slang. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh
because
my
I
God.
understood it. I understood all this. So like, it was like I don't know. I used to always just love like till this day. I don't like Spanish TV. Like very few shows have I ever watched in Spanish, but like I just love
Right.
my TV. So that I think that helped me out a lot. Um,
Wow.
growing up.
Damn. And now, so I know you have to do some public speaking in some of the roles that you have. So similar to what
Yes.
they're doing, in wrestling, and they're cutting a promo and they're out there kind of using a second language. How do you feel when you're up there live having to like give a presentation or give a speech and kind of knowing that you're delivering to mostly native English speakers, and you're a native English speaker, but you were, like you said, you were in ESL until you were in sixth grade. So like what's your experience when you do like a speech like that?
It's usually it comes very organic, simply from the fact I speak from my heart when I speak to my town. Like that's just like genuine. Usually if I have a speech, it's something that I'm writing. I don't get given a speech. What I get given a speech for, and is a little bit more, I guess, nerve wracking,
Yeah.
is when I have to do a commercial, because I have to do, sometimes they shoot commercials, and
Oh
I have to
yeah.
like, like if we're having a salsa weekend event in my town, and you go to different places in town that are either restaurants that become lounges and stuff like that, and you get to eat or relax, things like that. We have it across town in Raw. We do a lot of different activities. So
Mhm.
sometimes the councilmen, we have to record videos, and that is a little, I guess, nervousome for me. I get nervous for it, I guess,
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well,
More than
because
anything else. Because I don't like that. I don't like being on TV, and like, look, I
mm,
do a podcast. I barely show my face.
right,
It's just,
exactly. And
I'm
it's
just
also
that person.
like you were saying, you speak in your own words, or like when you write something for a speech, you're giving it in your own words. They're handing you a script, and it's like, listen, we've got 30 seconds of commercial
Right.
time that we've paid for. You need to get these words exactly as they appear here. Otherwise, like if they gave you something, you're like, let me say it in my own words, you would probably feel a little bit better about it, but you have to like stick to this exact script.
Correct. And the funny part about it is, I've done 3 of these, and they've all been first takes. Like, I do it once, and I get it. Like,
Hell
it's
yeah.
crazy. It's nuts. Like, I don't know. I'm thinking about it sometimes. Like, fuck, how did I not fuck that up? Like, I just get into the, I lock in. It's like, it's like in different places. Like, all right, I
Yeah.
remember these words. And the girl, don't get me wrong, like the girl helps me out. She'll have the words there on
Mhm.
top of like the phone or whatever she's recording with. But I just read it. Very, the
Hey,
good
that's
pauses. That's where I get them. I
good
pause well.
pauses. Oh,
Yeah,
that's actually a good tip
yeah.
is
Good
you
pause.
you don't
You don't
want to
speak too
speak.
too
Yeah,
quick, so
exactly.
they could understand you.
Right. All right. Now that I'm done interviewing Al, which by the way, I know people you may or may not be interested in this. I was fascinated because, we were having a discussion about English as a second language performers on TV, and I thought maybe having somebody's personal experience would help enlighten some people here. So just skipping forward a bit, did you see that shitty finish in the three-way women's match?
I was very upset with that finish.
That was
I
and poor Jade gets busted open and split open like she had a gash. Like it was all
Bro,
you could see.
oh,
Ugh.
I felt so bad for her when she went up to the TV and you just heard the crowd. Ugh,
Oh yeah, when
like
the
you
crowd
knew it was
says,
bad.
oh, oof.
Oh, it was so, bro. It was huge. Oh my god, Naya needs to get like, and she's been doing so good lately. Unless I don't know,
Yeah, she
she's
has
been
been.
doing better.
Yeah, and she had a nice little run there up until Tiffany took the title from her. It was like perfect. For what she needed to do as like a big, giant wrestler, against the
Yeah,
small
big
girl. Like
heel.
the whole story worked. Yeah, now she's back to the usual stuff. And here's the weird thing: if she just didn't, well, no, she didn't kick out, and the ref didn't count. So there was a miscommunication there, but I think it was on the referee because
Right.
I know the spot was supposed to probably be for a kick out, but it didn't seem like it seemed like Tiffany was stealing the win. So you just count the three and then end the fucking match, especially when somebody rolls out with like a really bad crash. Like you see the impact, you see what happened. You know she's not right. Like that was a
Right.
bad collision. Just fucking back in the day, you'd count the three and you'd roll everybody out of the ring and you'd get her medical attention.
When I saw that, I automatically blamed the referee, because you could definitely see at that point is Naya telling the referee what to do in a way, like,
Yeah,
yo,
she was like, "What the fuck?"
we gotta 69 this and get it out the way. We gotta finish this early. And
For real.
she like, we gotta get out of here. And she did not get it. How do you
We
not get
gotta
the
get
memo?
out of
Did you
here.
not see her face? Oh my god. That was horrible.
You're killing me. But then, yeah, and it was, and then the referee had to like run over and be like, "Do a fucking moonsault," like the loudest you could possibly go over and tell a wrestler what to do. Just do this poor moon, just hit a moonsault and finish this shitty match. And it's such a wet fart of a finish.
Oh my god. It,
Uh,
it, it, it was horrible to see.
all right, so fast forwarding to Raw since we only got about 10 minutes left.
Wait,
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
Did
sure thing.
the that guy from NXT, the Dreads,
Oh,
the
Javon?
brother, was it Avon, right?
Javon Evans, yeah.
Javon, was he on SmackDown?
All right, so Javon Evans answered the open challenge for Sami Zayn and had a very good showing. And
That was
obviously,
SmackDown, right?
yeah, that was SmackDown. And he didn't win, but he
Bro,
put on a hell of a match.
I'm gonna tell you what. That was my first time ever seeing this young man wrestle, and I am very impressed.
Mm.
I am like, is he a main eventer? I don't know, but if you put some weight on him, he might be. And if he
Yeah.
could keep those, he wrestles so explosive. That's the best way I could describe his wrestling style. It's just everything he does, he makes it larger than life, and that was like the crowd's reaction when he did like simple things like a double leg drop kick, and people were like, "Bro," I was like, "Oh my god, this kid is special."
Yeah, no, he's a big deal in NXT. The NXT fans really like he should be. I don't know what his championship like lineage looks like, but I don't think he's had very much success in terms of like winning or keeping a title. And like the NXT crowd is just so rabid for this guy that he should just perennially be a top, he should be one of their top guys in NXT right now. And if their plan is to bring him to the roster, then yeah, man, get him on the old chicken and broccoli diet. Yeah, have him meet Randy Orton's doctor or whatever you need to do to get this kid up to size. Maybe not so drastic.
Let us stay in Randy Orton's spare room for like 6 months.
Yeah, that's right. Move him into Randy Orton's house.
Move him in Randy's house.
He'll be as big as Big E by the end of it. Yeah.
Oh my god. Jesus.
But yeah, I think there's a big upside to him. I don't know what his ceiling is in terms, because you don't know, because we talk about a guy like Dom, and when he first comes up to the main roster, you're like, this guy's fucking toast. And then 4 or 5 years later, here we are.
Double champ Dom.
And he's great. And Javon Evans already, I think, has a little bit better of a base in terms of like the rest. He started off in NXT. He didn't have it was unenviable for Dominic. He had to start during the pandemic, right on the main roster. It was all kind of a shit show for the poor boy. But like Javon has gone through the system. He's been proven on NXT that he's a draw and people like him. So I think the transition to the main roster is going to be pretty easy for him as long as they don't fuck it up, which they do sometimes with these NXT guys.
I mean, having a base, I feel he's already at first. So like
that's what I'm saying. I feel like he's he's like you said, he's not world title right now, but if there's a chance for him to step up for a US or IC title shot or whatever, it doesn't feel out of place, especially after that match. Him coming up and having a storyline with somebody on the main roster for one of those titles feels right at home.
And again, right, for you to get a shot, for the most part, for you to get a shot at a heavyweight championship, you've been through those reigns, right? You've been a US champ or an IC champ or both.
Right.
You know, it's like I don't mind. I actually love the old school way of bringing up a wrestler, right? Like you bring them up titles, like whatever titles. Like I think you said the other day that you believe the lineage, or you told me the lineage is after the heavyweight championships is US then Intercontinental, correct?
I think so, in terms of how they're
supposed to be on the name. I think it's Intercontinental then US, right? Because I think just because the lineage of the Intercontinental is WWE,
right,
/ WWF.
It's one of those things though where depending on
Who
what
has
they
it?
think is important. Like, because remember when there were times when the WWE championship was the main championship that everybody cared about. And then at times John Cena was world heavyweight champion. And then whoever was WWE champion was kind of second fiddle to the WCW belt. And so
So
it's the same way with the IC and the US title. It just depends on
whoever's more over.
yeah, yeah. And then at that point, because the US title, if you go back far enough, is a NWA affiliated and has like a very long lineage of like, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson and guys like that who've held that
Right.
title. So it's got a
True,
good
true.
lineage, but it's just
Lex
like
Luger, all those
exact.
guys.
Yeah, all any of those NWA guys
Ric
from the
Flair
early
held
80s.
it, I
Yeah,
believe.
Flair definitely held that title. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay, I understand.
So it just depends
Ooh.
on who it is.
Well,
Whatever.
I just turned on the LA Dodgers Cincy game, and my boy Teoscar Hernandez, Dominican, just hit a 2-run blast, I believe. Put them up 3-0.
I love names like that. Like that's a baseball player name.
Teoscar, yeah, Teoscar Hernandez is the way you say it.
That is a guy.
But I think it sounds so cool in English too. Teoscar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it, and it's not just it's Oscar, but there's a little bit more to it. And you're like, ooh, that's a little it's a little spicy, like when white women eat salsa, they're like, oh, it's a little.
Ooh, what'd you throw in this?
Yeah, I've been working on a joke. I haven't really tried it yet, but I'm like, guys with names like that are either gonna be really good baseball players or really good drug lords.
I mean,
because like Pablo Escobar either sounds like a drug lord or a guy that's definitely going to get a save in the 9th inning.
Yo, dead ass.
It's like, you just do you can picture a guy, and Pablo Escobar strikes out the side. Just sounds right.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like I'm either going to be like, yes, or fuck. Like, depends who I'm cheering for.
Right, yeah, you're like, oh shit, they're bringing him in.
They're bringing him in. Fuck.
Oh
yeah, we got him. They put the Wild Thing song on for him. Wild Thing.
Pablo Escobar, he comes out and he throws the rosin bag, and it just looks like cocaine flying in the
air. Yeah, he just writes it back, throws it in the air, and then a bunch of pigeons come. That's his entrance. A bunch of white pigeons and fucking a bag of rice. And Wild Thing is gonna be singing Spanish.
Oh my god.
Loca. Ding, ding, ding.
Be like mariachi for
yeah, right.
They'd have strings in it. Oh, that'd be great.
That's fucking great.
Before we finish up here, because I don't want to keep you past your bedtime. Anything, that we had Cody and Seth go face to face. It is the Crown Jewel Championship, so they had an in-ring promo. They had a video package. We had some other stuff happen, but and with the women, the Io and Rhea storyline.
Oh, Dirty Dom kept his belt.
Dirty Dom kept his belt against Rusev.
That was great, and he pinned him.
Yeah.
I don't care if it was dirty. Don't talk to me about that. I don't want to talk about it.
That's the whole point. He's Dirty Dom. Like, what did
Dirty
you expect?
Dom. He likes these cheesy steals.
Hey, and I'm glad somebody's doing it because
it's fucking great.
There's nobody like of anybody to carry on, the Guerrero thing and the Mysterio thing. There's no other Guerrero aside from Chavo Wrestling right now. So he's it. He's the best one, and he's got history with both of them. His WWE debut was in a feud with Eddie and Ray, so there's still tie-ins there, and it's great. It's great. He's doing a great job.
I mean, look, a while back I said there's no way they will put a fucking heavyweight championship belt on him, and he's a AAA mega champion.
Yeah,
right? Technically, correct me if I'm wrong. That's the main belt in the AAA promotion, right?
That is one of the top. There's like 2 top heavyweight championships. There's like I think there's like a heavyweight championship, and then there's the AAA mega championship.
Okay, so he's up there at least.
Yeah, because like one of the most recent champions was Alberto Del Rio, so that's the style. That's the size of a like Kenny Omega was AAA Mega's champion. So yeah, he's definitely it's a heavyweight championship for sure.
Right, and here I am saying that Dominic Mysterio is a heavyweight championship, is a
Yeah,
heavyweight champion.
yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, if he could stay this hot, man, lie, cheating, and stealing, he could get a WWE title.
Yeah, because there's all kinds of there's the Royal Rumble, there's a Money in the Bank.
Money
He
in the
holds a
Bank,
briefcase, he can steal a win so easily.
best
Like there's so
fucking
much.
way.
Yeah,
Money in the Bank is the best way for him to lie, cheat, or steal his way to a championship, and it'll be legal.
absolutely. Yeah.
Great.
And I guess one last thing here, because at the end of the night there was a Usos against the Bronze tag match thing, and Roman Reigns came out and cleaned house and shook hands with Jimmy while Jay stared on shook hands with Jay while Jimmy stared on in the background, like, "Hey, what the fuck?" And we've got the next inning of the Bloodline story.
Yeah, it's coming. The thing is, how long is he really gonna be on? Is he back? Do we know? Is he here for
I
three
don't know.
fucking Raws? And is he out? Like
He's
what
been
is
back
going
an
on?
awful lot.
A lot. I mean, Crown Jewels around the corner. Are those matches set, or they're still adding matches? As far as we know, it's just the title matches, right?
Let's see. Crown Jewel 2025. So we've got Cody versus Seth for the Crown Jewel Championship.
Right.
Stephanie versus Tiffany for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship.
See,
AJ versus John Cena. Oh, yeah, we had AJ promo on SmackDown where he said he was going to beat up John Cena, which was great.
right.
And Rhea Ripley and Io versus the Kabuki Warriors in a tag team match. That was announced, I think, Monday night.
Okay. So we still have room, right?
We have room. I mean, depending on how long, because you know the some of these PLEs are only 5 matches, so maybe there's one more to be added. But if it's a Saudi show, I think you expect it to be stacked. So I would think that there's got to be more than what 8, 10. You know, I don't know what the length they're looking for a WWE PLE is right now.
So we're thinking, as of right now, that maybe the Vision is gonna get help and go against the Uso and Roman Reigns. Is that what it's looking like right now?
Yeah, I think that's that might be what it is.
Or
And
was
what-
that a one-off? Since they already had beef before and they already wrestled twice, I think, right? The Usos versus Braun and Rowan. They already wrestled twice. Maybe that was a one-off, him saving them, and it's going to be Bloodline versus Bloodline once again.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like they're probably gonna tag these guys up in a trios match or something. What
Right,
would be
but
in,
again, too, because the Vision, what's his name? Seth is already with Cody, who's the
So-
third leg.
so I thought about this, and it is a Saudi show, and they do try and bring out the very, very best. And Paul Heyman being in the ring with Seth Rollins in the Vision, as well as introducing Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza. What if
Mm.
the Vision has a third special guest where it's Braun, and Brock against the Bloodline?
And that sets up War Games.
War Games. Yes, perfect. It
That
all makes
is-
sense.
That is perfect. I love since he owes him a favor, that could be the favor.
Boom. And that would be great for a Saudi show. You know, they always want a Brock appearance. They always want the biggest stars they can possibly get. They want The Rock to wrestle at their WrestleMania in 2 years or year and a half or whatever it is. So yeah, it's at least a possibility. I don't know if Brock is gonna get off the tractor at his farm in Manitoba or wherever the fuck, or like he's off shooting elk or something. I don't know if he's gonna want to go, but it's very possible. Throw him enough money, the guy will get on a plane.
Yeah.
That's just the Brock Lesnar lifestyle. He's about it. So we'll see. Any final thoughts about Raw, SmackDown, otherwise, leading up to this pay-per-view?
Nah. I can't recall Anything else that really stuck out per se?
Yeah. I was looking through the recap and I was trying to pick out the big notes. And I know Cody and Seth getting in a promo battle is good and all, but I mean, it's like, this is not
Grande
that
Americanos seem to be like a family now.
yes, they're all, yeah. So
what do you think that's going to lead to when what's his name comes back? Is he still out an extensive time from now?
I don't know what his return
Chad Gable?
timeline is. It would be real great if it was right around War Games time and they did a traditional Survivor Series like 4-on-4 elimination match and you had all the Grande Americanos lined up against some heel team.
Like Doink, Oink, Ink, Ink, whatever.
Yeah, Ink and Stink and whatever. Yeah, exactly. I think that's, for me, the end game is all these guys united with masks on wrestling a multi-man match, 4-on-4, either a Survivor Series style or, just a 4-on-4 tag match or whatever. So it has to come to that. And then I don't know if they go about feuding with each other to decide who's the real one, unmasking each other. Like if they wrestle each other and they take the mask and then,
the loser has to take the mask versus mask match.
And they do like tournament. They do like a little 4-person tournament where it's finally down to the 2 guys that still have their masks. And then, I don't know. Who knows?
That'd be great.
Or one day Hornswoggle comes out from underneath the ring and he's like, I'm the general manager. You all have to unmask. Who fucking knows what they're going to do? It's WWE. But I guess with that, we'll close things out. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, sticking with us here. Steve will be back next week, and we'll see who else is back in studio with us. Thank you, Al, for hanging out with me tonight and joining the show.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be back next week, 9 p.m. Eastern time on either we stream on Facebook and YouTube. So if you go to Facebook, you go to the search bar, type in Tag Me a Date. You'll find our Facebook page. You hit the thumbs up, and then our live stream shows up in your news feed at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesdays. YouTube, kind of similar. You go to the search bar, you type in Tag Me a Date. You'll find our channel. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified when we go live. And if you prefer an audio version instead of the video version of the podcast, go to Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts. And you can look for The War Report or Tag Me a Date in the search bar. You can throw them both in if you want. You'll get our page. You can hit subscribe. And the audio usually goes up, after the show is over. And Ryan rips the MP3 and uploads it. So it'll get sent right to your device as long as you're subscribed. And be sure to follow us on social media at Tag Me a Date with no spaces. That's Instagram, Twitter /X, Facebook, YouTube, and a bunch of others. And on TikTok, it is The War Report Podcast. And that's all one word. On social media, we post reels, shorts, previews of what we talked about the week before, leading up to the show Tuesday night. So we'll be back again Tuesday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here for another edition of The War Report After Dark. Thank you so much. And Al, I know there's one more thing you usually like to say right before we end, and what is that?
Fuck Goldberg.
Absolutely. Have a great one, everybody.